over and above what British Petroleum puts in place as part of the federal response plan. Is there a motion to allow the mayor to accept $650,000?
Council President, I also have Kenneth Slava here that's going to update you and tell you a little bit more about this, if that's okay.
Okay.
And I have some questions.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Any discussion?
Well, I'd like to hear what Ken said. Maybe he might answer my question.
Go ahead, Ms. Williams.
Go ahead.
Oh, actually, as your resolution states, the $650,000 is part of a $25 million block grant given to the state of Alabama by BP. This is to be used for protective measures over and above anything BP has done or will do. This is over and above. In other words, if VP fails to come through, we've got Sheen headed our way. We'll go into this reserve fund for our own protective measures. I'll be glad to field any questions.
Also, before we spend any money, we will either have it at a regular council meeting or have a special meeting before we actually spend it, so you'll be aware of it.
Is the money in an interest-bearing account?
I'm not sure where Nancy put it.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to clear up is that we've already received this money. I picked up the check last weekend and it's already been deposited. I think somebody made the statement authorized to accept it. We've accepted it. It's in the bank.
Good.
Is it an interest bearing?
Yes.
It's in our reserve fund account.
Good. Any other questions?
And you're in charge of the records, or is the treasurer in charge of expenditure records and everything?
We track those on a weekly basis, and department heads are responsible for getting all of those records to Ms. Wilson every Friday.
Okay, thank you.
And I know 200,000 of that is for the Grand Hotel, protective measures, right? 450 is for the city of Fairhope and 200 is for the Grand Hotel. How do we spend that outside the city limits? I mean, we can't spend anything else outside the city
We can
limits.
spend, because this is private money from a private company, and so,
But it's gone
They gave
into the
us-
city coffers.
I know, and we went through all this, and according to the governor, that since we're in a state of emergency, if we so desire that that's what we want to do to protect, we can either spend it all here, spend it up there. That was just a number that I asked for from the governor when he was giving out the $10 million for Baldwin County. And I felt like getting the money in our bank was better than hoping that you would get it. And when we were told on Thursday afternoon at a meeting, when he kicked everybody out of the room except the elected officials, he asked how he wanted to spend the $25 million. And we all said that we wanted it for protection, because 20 years from now, when we wake up and tell our grandchildren that we could have done something else, we felt like it was very important to get the money. So he directed his staff to get some simple little document put together and sign for it and have it back by Monday. Well, we met on Saturday. He gave away the money on Saturday at noon. We met at 10 o'clock on Saturday, and 12 o'clock at noon is when we had to give him who was going to get the money. And then we received the money last Wednesday, I believe. Is that right, Greg? Or over the weekend?
Picked it up on the Friday.
Last Friday. Well, I just don't know how you do that. How you go do work outside the city limits with funds that are in the city coffers. And what's your plan on spending the money on? I mean, I know you had to submit a plan, and just curious.
Our Fairhope booming strategy, which we developed before anything ever started happening on our shorelines, was basically to get a boom from the Magnolia Beach townhomes out around the west end of the pier all the way north to the Fairhope Yacht Club to protect our shores. That's first line of defense. Second line of defense would be absorbent booms inside of that and mechanisms on shore to help clean up whatever sheet might have breached those two layers.
Okay.
Those booms still in place north of the pier.
Mr. Ford, there's
Yeah, usually, when I go down to my office, it's a little corner, you can see it, but I couldn't see it.
everything's in place. There's been 25,000 feet placed to date. We've got around 2,500 staged. And as of 11 o'clock this morning, the state and federal contingency plans were completed.
And we are hoping to open the boat ramp. When is that?
In the morning. Be open to the public.
Dan?
Mr. Chairman, again, thanks to Ken and all the city employees who have done an outstanding job for us, as they usually do. And I know the mayor has said that they would bring it to the council for approval and put it in an interest-bearing account, and I will amend the resolution to add that, just to formalize it, that the funds be deposited in an interest-bearing account and spent with council notification and approval.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that will be added to the resolution. Now, is there, the motion has been put on the table and seconded. All in favor of adopting the resolution?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.